You don't need DocuSign and you don't need PandaDoc. Everything from contracts to signatures and even payments can all be done inside of GoHighLevel. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through all of this step by step so you can go from beginner to advanced. So to set up your first contract inside of GoHighLevel, you're going to come right to your high level dashboard and you're going to come right down to payments. Then you're going to go to documents and contracts. Now, this video is strictly going to be on just these two tabs right here, building contracts and documents. Now, I have a video I'll link at the end of this video that's going to show you how to do all of this, and that is going to be a complete payments tutorial inside of HighLevel. Don't worry, I have you covered, but this video is strictly going to be on documents and contracts. So the first thing you need to understand is what are the difference between these two tabs. All documents and contracts is just going to be a place where you see all of the contracts and documents you have or sent out. Templates, on the other hand, is where you're going to be building out said contract and template to reuse it again and again and again. Because yes, you can do one-time contracts, but having templates is better because in case you need to reuse something, you can just change certain things and send it out. And don't worry, guys, we are going to go through what every one of these buttons does. This will be the most in-depth contracts tutorial you will be able to find on HighLevel on YouTube. No joke, we are going so in-depth. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come right down to templates and we're going to build your first contract. So to do that, we come right in here and we click new. Now we have 4 different options. And in this video, I'm going to go through all 4. We have new template, which is what we're going to start with, which is just from scratch. We have upload an existing PDF, which is uploading a contract from elsewhere. We have create public document, which is a public document, kind of like a terms of service that anyone can have access to. And then we'll show you how to use the template library, which is pre-made contracts and documents that you can use instantly. But first up, we're going to go to new template. We're just going to click it. So the first thing you're going to do when creating your contract is naming it. So put the name right in here. For the sake of the video, we're just going to do test contract. You put in whatever you're going to put. So the first thing we need to go over is adding things into your contract, how to create it. And the way we do that is by clicking this plus right here. And this is where we're going to add elements. So essentially we have different kinds of elements. So the first up, we have text, which is a text block. And once we add this text block in, we can then come over here and edit it on the right-hand side. It's kind of how it all works. You pull from the left, edit on the right. And this can be the name of contract, a description. It's essentially where you're going to put in said contract words, and we're going to go over all that in a sec. And then up here, obviously, you have all of the classic different editing tools to make it bold, italicized, change the fonts, different headings, and you have all of that right there. Then we have image, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's an image. Again, all you have to do with these is drag and drop. Now, with any of these, we have a video, so you can add videos to a contract. We have tables, depending on if you need to show data and whatnot. We have a product list if you are selling certain things. And then we have page break, which is just going to basically divide up the page. So those are our blocks. Those are going to be the 6 different things we're going to be using to build out said contract. And again, you just select, drag, and drop just like that, and then you're good to go. Simple as that. Now, those are the blocks and the elements to build said contract. And don't worry, I'll kind of build a mock contract for you so you can see how I do it. But then we have the fillable fields. Now, these are the things that make this a contract. So they're in blue. For example, we come to signature and we drop this down. It is now a place where they have to write their signature. Okay, it's a fillable field. And here we have a text field. So if you want to put in like, what's your favorite color or whatever, like something that they have to put in as part of the contract, you can add it through text field. You have date, so to know when the contract was signed, initials too, if you want to do kind of a different form of signature, then a checkbox, if it's like check these multiple answers or questions to qualify. So these are your fillable fields. So again, the blocks are where you're going to be building out the basics of the contract. The fillable fields are going to be the things that make this a contract. So before we go into building out said contract, this is something that's really important, and that is who is signing the fillable fields. Because a lot of people come in here in HighLevel and they just slap a bunch of fillable fields and they don't know who's actually signing it. So what you actually have to do, you have to click the fillable field and you have to come right over here, and you'll then see that there's actually different kinds of fillable fields. So if we click this right here, you have the sender, and then you have you, which would be green. Because again, some contracts require 2 different people to sign. It's not just one person. So you may, on certain contracts, want to have, okay, like me, the signer, and then we come into signature, and then it would be the contact signature. And then we might have to have the sender. So we have multiple different people, but they're color-coded to know. So again, if that doesn't make sense, let me quickly break this down. Each signature box can be done by a different person. because different contracts require different things. And to do that with any of these fields, whether it be a date field or whatever, a signature, a contract, any of the fillable fields, you click them and you go right over here and you select exactly who is the one that needs to sign it. Super important, because a lot of you guys may only have contact when you need to sign it to, or you miss out when you only have your name. So really important, you need to pick exactly who is going to be signing the fillable field. And again, you do that by clicking and finding right over on the side. That's how you determine all of that. So now what we're gonna do that we have all that is we're gonna kind of go through and build a little contract. So first off, we're gonna call this test contract, okay? And we're just going to plug our contract right in here. So first things first, I'm using ChatGPT. I am not a lawyer, okay? I wanna make this abundantly clear. For contracts, you need to either consult a legal person or look up online what's the right thing to do. You can obviously draft stuff with AI and find stuff online, but I'm not a lawyer. Like, please just understand that. I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. But I'm gonna quickly mock up a contract. So I'm gonna go, please make me short contract on AI voice agent for SaaS. And I'm just gonna type this up. And it's basically gonna come up and it's just gonna build me a little thing right here that I can slap in. I'm gonna show you exactly how this works. Again, this is just a mock-up to show you how I do it in a simple way. But again, you consult with whoever you need to make the proper contract. So the first thing you can do is take the name it gives you, unless you already have a name, which we do. So again, plug the name in how you wanna do it. But then we're going to copy all of this. Again, you want to look and make sure it's like legit. You're not just randomly slapping this in. And we're gonna paste this right in like that. So we now have an entire contract built out with everything we need. Now, this is really important, guys, when you're making contracts. You need to plug in the fillable fields. This is what makes it a contract. So obviously, you can put an image in here like your logo, a video. You can add all kinds of flair here, but in these areas is where we want to put said fillable fields. This is what so many people miss. So for example, for stuff like company, okay, you're gonna want a text field. And you're going to want to slap it right here, put it right down here. You want to pick exactly who needs to fill it out. So again, if this is you, you're going to make it you, the sender. And right in here, you're going to enter the value. So what you're going to do, company. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm copying what it would be, because again, the text field is just a field that they have to plug in for fillable information. It doesn't have to be a signature. Same thing with address. We come right back here. We do text field. We slap right in there. We come right in here. And then we do sender, or whoever is going to be sending it. And then we do address. Well, it's 2 Ds. So drop a comment down below if you guys have any questions. I'll answer personally, but this is like really important that you get this. So that's what you do. And you do the same thing for this. And again, if this is someone different, you would then put in a contact fillable field. So now we're going to plug in the fillable fields here once we've done all the rest, like I kind of already showed and explained to you with the other fillable fields. Now, again, talk to your lawyer, find out online how you want to do. So you don't have to have all these little boxes to write. It could just be a signature. It doesn't have to be overboard. But what we want to do now is we want to really plug in the proper details down here in case you collect it, because this is where they sign. So first off, we see company representative. This would most likely be you or whoever. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put text field. I'm going to show you a little shortcut here to make this go much faster. And because you are the person, or if it's you, you can select you right there. But since you are the person, okay, you're going to come right in here and you're going to put sender value and you're going to do enter value and you're going to do name. Now, here's the shortcut. As we do it for you, we're going to come right in here and we're going to click copy. So we're going to get another one really fast. Guys, I'm trying to show you the quickest way to do this. So as opposed to you're not going back and forth, I want to show you how to build contracts lightning fast. You take it, you duplicate it, then you come and you click contact. That's it. So now it's name, but for both company representative, which is you or your person. And then we come to signature. Okay. We come right in here. We drag and drop the signature field, make it smaller or however you want to plug it in. And again, you can space this out. It doesn't have to be so crammed. And we're going to do sender. And then all you do, you click duplicate, put it right down here, come up here, click contact, boom, you're good to go. Then date, same as we did before, guys. Come in here, boom, 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 boom. How easy was that? Now we have a legit kind of signature set up, and it was way quicker. So again, this is just a little shortcut hack I'm trying to show you that helps when building contracts. So again, guys, if you have questions on this, please, please, please drop in the comments down below, because the contracts tab inside of HighLevel, I'm telling you guys, is so underrated. I used to use a lot of other softwares to do contract sending. HighLevels is way better. Like, it legitimately is easier, it's better, and it's part of the plan. You can cancel these other subscriptions. So highly underrated. So now that you understand the first part of the contract and you have your contract, I now need to go over what these things do up here so you can finish up your contract, so then we can save this template and send it to your person, because I'm going to walk you through all that. So up here, as you know, this is how you add the elements. The pages is just going to be pages in said contract. So you can obviously click this to add more, and it's just going to be pages within the contract. We then have document variables. This is going to be kind of like custom fields, things that get plugged in automatically. Again, you don't need to really mess with this because we already have it set up. We then have content library. This is if you want to add extra stuff. So we go right here, we drop this right here. You'll see right here. Boom, it is now a whole different part of the contract. We're just going to undo that because we don't want that. But you can add pre-built out sections into your contract by just dragging and dropping right over here under the content library. Payment settings. So this is really important. And again, you may have questions on this, so drop them down below. But depending on how your contract works, you may collect payments in the contract or you may collect payments after said contract. It all depends on you. That's why you might need to ask a question on this one, because it totally depends on your business model. But if you're doing one time, you can enable any of these. So enable direct payment to have it in part of it, enable send invoice or right after sends invoice, or enable an auto payment. Or if it's recurring, we would do the same thing and pick the frequency. Again, for contracts, what I do is I like to send the contract separately, then the payment, and don't worry, you can automate all of that. But that is just something to keep in mind depending on how you're charging. Again, guys, at the end of this video, I'm gonna do a full payments tutorial. I'm linking that, so I have you covered. We're covering all bases. Last but not least is settings. Okay, so this is really more for notifications and basic sender details. You're not necessarily gonna need to plug this in right now, because what I'm gonna show you in 1 second when we jump out of this, which don't worry is gonna be unveiled in a second, is how to create settings for all the contracts, which is way easier. But if you weren't doing that and you need to do this, you need to plug this in and get it set. So that's how you do all of this. These are all the customizations you can make to said contract, and that's pretty much it. So now that you have your contract and you're like, yay, I have it, this is great, we now need to move on to the next part, which is saving and using your contract. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come right up here and click save. And then what we're gonna do right up here is we're gonna click use template, okay? Because now what this is gonna do is it's gonna make this template live. So now that we have it live, you're gonna notice something different. We have this right here, which is recipients. So if we click this, we now have recipients we select. So these are the people we send it to. Okay, because the contract, you don't just randomly just like give it to someone, you have to send it to them. So under here, you can pick the exact client you want to send it to who is in your contacts list in HighLevel. And obviously it's being sent by you. And if you want to delete them, you can, or you can add more because you can send to multiple people. And then we can set a signing order depending on how many different contracts and pages where one thing unlocks after another. Again, we're not going to do that, but we're just going to come right in here and you'll see down here, it'll be ready for them to send. So what we can do is we can come right in here and we can click send. Now we have two different options once we have said contract. We can send document, okay, which is just going to email it right away like this. And we just plug them in right like that, again, to the exact person, and we send it. Or we can send and we can share via links. So we can generate links, and we can copy this right here, and then we can come right in here, and you will see right here, we now can fill it out. But as you see, it's only for Ryan to fill out. If we come back here and we take this one and put it in, it'll be only for me to fill out. See? Does that make sense, guys? Each one leads to a different thing. See, now I get to sign it, and I'm going to click through, I'm going to click start filling out, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill these fields out. But one was for me, one was the other, because I was signing and they were signing. It's not the same signing. Does that make sense? Same contract, different signing, because they have to sign it and I have to sign it. And if I had the option to sign for them, well, I would do it. That's why it's grayed out, because that would be terrible if you could just sign for them. It'd be highly illegal too. So right in here, you come in and you'd fill it out and you just generate the link. So that's the other way to send said contract. Now, what's cool about HighLevel is we can automate so much of this stuff. So when someone buys a product, we can send it to them. There's just so many different ways we can do this. But that is essentially how we do the basics of said contract. So if we come to back, okay, now this is going to be the kind of the final point of the building out. I'm going to show you. And as you see right in here, once we have it sent, there's different stages. So draft is what's been drafted. Waiting for others is right here. This is when we've sent it and we're waiting for them to sign. Once they've completed it, it will say signed right there and pop up. Payments, payments accepted and received will be right here, and then archived will be right here. So you can always see where all of your contracts and documents are by just looking right here. It's really handy and really cool. So you can go, wait a minute, did they sign it? And you'll see right there. So it's very simple. And again, the way we do this, if you want to send this contract again, you're not going to click this and start sending contracts. If you have the template, you're going to come to templates. You're going to select the template that we made, which is what we just created earlier. You're going to click select, and then you're going to come right up here and you're going to click use template. And then it's going to take you back to this same exact page. And then we pick the same recipients or new recipients. Just like that, then we click send and we have your two options again. So it's just like that. That is how you make templates inside of HighLevel, and that is how you send contracts. So it's very simple. So again, if you have questions, please drop them down below because this is just how it works. It's not complicated. That's how we do it. But now that you understand that, we still have to move through the other ways you can build a contract and the settings. So we're going to click settings. By the way, if you guys are interested in HighLevel and getting access to all this amazing stuff, there's a 30-day free trial link down below. When you sign up with that, you get access to my community, live coaching calls, tons of snapshots, and so much more, even pre-built out templates for contracts. So go check that out if you're interested. So right in here under settings, these are going to be the different kind of settings to tweak based on contracts. So first up, we have customer notifications. So this is when someone signs, do they get notified? So this is what I was talking about before. If we toggle this on, we can put the exact name and the exact email that will send out from the contracts every time. If you want to carbon copy someone, which is sending to another person, we toggle this on and pick the exact recipient. Again, that's if you want to do that. And then when the document is received, you can make sure you have this on so it says, hey, you received the document. You can toggle on the SMS notification. Same thing with document signed, and same thing with expiring documents. You have these three options. And again, these are notifications going to the customer. Simple as that. They're just being notified on what's going on. Then we have team notifications, okay? So this is when your team inside of GoHighLevel gets notified about contracts. You know what a notification is? It's a thing on your phone or opposite computer. It's like, hey, you got a new lead. Hey, somebody texted you. That's all a notification is. So right under here, if you toggle this on, same thing, from name, from email, document signed, document viewed, you can just toggle these on and play with how you want it to go out very simply. And that's going to be sending notifications to your team once the contract has been signed. Then we have product invoicing. So this is if you're having products on your contract. Again, products, I go over this at the end of this video. It's linked in a tutorial. I'll show you how to do all of this, which is like the whole payment side of HighLevel. But again, this is strictly on contract, so make sure you watch at the end if you're learning how to do that. But you would just click these on and go through, and this is basically like a payment right after they sign the contract, it gets sent. Simple as that. It's just invoicing them after they send the contract. So you're not like, wait a minute, did you sign and now I need to collect payment? It does it automatically. Then you have document settings. Last but not least, this is just basic stuff like redirect to a custom URL once they sign. So if you toggle this on and let's say they sign it, it might send them to a thank you page. It might send them to a form where they buy your thing. Depends what you want. You just put the URL in here, click save, and you are done. Expiration settings. If you have essentially documents that expired, you put in the exact amount of days and save. You don't want contracts to last forever. You want it to be like, hey, you have to sign. You want to have that urgency to push them to do stuff. And then you'll be good. And then you can kind of toggle on email notifications here. And then control signings. Again, you can do draw signatures, type signatures. Again, and if you don't know what these are, for draw signatures, they have to literally go like this. They have to draw out their signature. For type signatures, they just type in and they're good. So you pick what you want right there. You're good to go. And then you click save. So these settings are how you're going to tweak said contracts and documents. Simple as that. So again, guys, if you have questions on this, please drop them in the comments down below so I can guide you through that. So now we need to move on to the other ways that we can create contracts. We go back to templates, then we come to new, and then we have these options right here. So first up, we have uploading existing PDF. So you click this. This is just uploading a pre-made contract to HighLevel if you have a PDF. Simple as that. You just click, upload it, and then you tweak the field. Simple as that. So this is great if you have contracts you have in other softwares and you need to upload them in here. Download them from your other software as a PDF, whether you have DocuSign or PandaDoc, download them, and then upload them right in here, and then you're good to go. That way you don't have to recreate them. You tweak the fillable fields. Then we have create public document. So this is very simple. We're gonna click this. This is exactly the same builder as before. Nothing more, nothing less, except a public document is different than a regular contract or document. A public document is essentially a document that anyone can fill out, sign, and it's in a public space. It's kind of like terms of service. It's just available for anyone, can be put on a page. Very simple. You can do a checkbox. It's not like being sent to one person, it's to many. So before, when you have a contract, you had to send it to one person or a certain contact. For public documents, it's to whoever. It's like broader. So think the first one is singles, the other one is group. And then up in here, we click new. And then last but not least, we have import from template library. So all this is very simply is templated contracts you can pick from. You come right in here and you can browse, and they just have a couple different templates. So if you wanted to do something, let's say for real estate, we can choose template and it's going to just build out the template and then we can edit it. That way, if you're kind of like, I don't want to build this out, we can just use one of the templates and be done. So boom, right in here, as you see, it's got signatures, it's got different stuff, and we can always come in and edit it. So if you want to come in and start playing with it and deleting stuff and doing what you want, you can absolutely do that. oh, I don't like this, paragraph, blah, blah, blah. So you can edit it and add different stuff. And same thing as before, save, use template. It's the same process, except they're pre-made. So if you want to use the pre-made templates, that is the way you do it. You just go right in and you select right up here and do import from template library. Simple as that. From there, you're good to go, and then you're ready to roll out. That is how you do contracts and documents in GoHighLevel. Simple as that. That's it. But that is not all. We now need to do one last thing, and this is because I want to over-deliver to you and help you out. I want to go over the mobile app version of sending contracts and documents really quickly because it's super important for you to understand and for your clients to understand. Because oftentimes when you send contracts, you're not going to be on the computer. I'm just saying, like, especially for businesses you might work with, they might have it in their hand. And again, you can automate all this, but it's very important that we go in and we make sure that you understand the mobile app. So let's check out the mobile app. So to send documents on the mobile app, we're going to come right into mobile app, whether it's the lead connector or the HighLevel mobile app. And what we're going to do is we're going to come right over to apps, simple as that. Okay, and we're going to scroll right down to documents and contracts, as you see right there. Then just like before, we're going to go to templates. We're going to click these three dots. We're going to click use. And then all we're doing very, very simply is adding the customer like we did before and then sending it to the exact recipient we want. It's as simple as that. It is just like doing it on the computer. Again, we can't come in necessarily and create these. Now, again, we can add stuff in, but we have to do it on the desktop and then we can send from the phone. So if you're working with a service-based business that's like, hey, we want to make sure that we can be able to send these on the fly, they're going to be able to come in here and they're going to be able to send the templates, but not create. That's why I said before, it is so important to create templates, have them ready, have them built out. So all they have to do is select, fill out the different fields. Like when we click this and we go use, adding the customer in, and then they can send it to anyone. That's what you want to have. That's why, again, I showed you the templates because it makes it way smoother and way faster. So again, to do this, guys, when you come into the mobile app, it'll either be Lead Connector or the HighLevel app. I have other tutorials on this. If you're like, there's a mobile app, and you didn't even know, you just come right in, you go right to apps, you scroll right down, you come right to documents and contracts, and this is where you will have everything. And templates, you go right under and you follow that, and then you click send and you are good to go. So that is how you will send contracts from the mobile app. So now that you understand how to build contracts and documents inside of HighLevel and how to use the mobile app on contracts and documents, we now need to move on to the bonus section of this video, which is just a couple other small things with contracts, just so you know. Again, guys, if you want to leave the video, that's fine, but this stuff is for those who want to go a step further and be really advanced, and they want to know everything about HighLevel, and they want to become absolute wizards themselves. And again, I don't want to leave anything out. I want to give you the best possible videos possible. This video took me a long time to create, but it's for you guys, man. That's why I do this. So let's go into the final part, which is the bonus section. So when you understand contracts and documents fully, there's then a couple last things we can do. So in automations, this is how we can automate a lot of stuff. So we can create workflow, we can start from scratch. And there's a couple things we can do. So if we come in here and we add trigger, there's actually a spot in payments where if we come in here, we'll see documents and contracts. So we come in here and we click this, and we'll do template is, and then we can select the test contract we made and we can save it. So just like that, when anyone signs this template and they go through this, we then can do a bunch of other stuff. We come right into payments, okay? We can send them a Stripe fee, send them a recurring invoice. Like we can do all kinds of different stuff with these contracts once we have them set up. Now, in the settings, there was ways to kind of do this manually through there where you could like send signing order, send invoice after, put it inside of said contract like that. But in here, we can do it via the automation level. So it's really, really handy once we have products set up to automate this. Now, that is a big thing. So you just go in here and you figure out what the contract is and then how you want the automation to go, whether you want to send them an email, an invoice, you decide that, and then it can be dictated. And again, guys, like I told you before, it's really important to watch the video I have linked at the end of this video, which goes over everything, because that's how you're going to build out the products. Because if you come in here, let's say we go to the test contract, and we want to edit this, and we come right here and edit, you'll see stuff like product list, and we can drop this in right here, and we can select products we have inside of HighLevel. That's if you want to charge on said contract. You want to collect payment up front. But again, you need to understand all of the products and payments and all of the other stuff. That's why I linked the video at the end to fully be aware of that. So again, I just want to make that clear because that's how you can add everything into one. But the last thing I want to show you before we wrap up is terms of service. So this is another kind of thing you can do with contracts. Again, it depends on what you're working with and how everything goes down, but a lot of people use TOS instead of contracts. Again, talk to your lawyer, look it up yourself. It just depends on what you're doing, but a lot of people will use this instead. So let's say we start from scratch, and these are forms, by the way. If you send someone a form, what you can actually do is we can come down in here in forms, we drop this in, we have like a terms and conditions. So before they go any further, say this has a payment on it, like you need to collect something in a form, it will immediately stop them, say they have to check this little box, and you can link it very simply by clicking this to add a link in, okay, to your terms and conditions. So therefore, if they want to move any further, they have to check some box which agrees to the terms and conditions, which is like no refunds, no this, no that, no that. So this is just another way to protect yourself. And it's a little hidden thing that I don't see people using. They're often like, man, I wish I had like a terms and conditions as opposed to a full contract. Because some lower ticket stuff, like if you sign up with GoHighLevel, you don't sign a contract, but you check terms and service. So if you have lower ticket things and you're like, there's no need to send these massive contracts every time, it's easier just to have a terms and conditions on a payment page where they can select and then you're good to go. And you can do the same thing on funnels. But again, talk to your lawyer, do your due diligence to find out what is required and for what services you're doing, but this is just a simple way. But that's it, guys. That's the video. If you guys have any questions at all, drop them in the comments down below. If you're interested in high level and getting some pre-made SaaS templates and all this other stuff, again, all of that is in that 30-day free trial. You get access to me, my coaching, my entire community, so much more, guys. There is no community like mine. If you don't believe me, go right down below, click that link and just look at what's on it. It shows testimonials, it shows case studies, it shows so much more. And guys, there is no community like it. Like if you get into it or you see the comments I have in my videos, people tell me, they're like, I went to this other guy's stuff on YouTube, it was trash. I tried another guy's, it was trash. I found yours and I could not believe I didn't find this earlier, because there is no one that gives away the bonuses I give away. And I give the ultimate hand-holding experience for both beginners and advanced people. So if you're interested in that, check that out. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna link the video to the entire payments and products tutorial right here. So if you're interested in learning all that, actually, as a matter of fact, you need to learn that. It's going to be linked at the end of the video. So thanks again for watching, and make sure you watch the video that pops up in the screen, because it's going to go through all of the payment stuff.